Okay, the countdown is on, of course, this Sunday. Little ghouls and goblins will be roaming around our neighborhoods for a night of trick-or-treating fun. But how can we make this a safe occasion for our children? Rania Mancarios, Executive Director with Crime Stoppers of Houston and the host of the Balanced Voice podcast, joins us now with her tips for a danger-free Halloween. It's always great to see you, Rania. Thanks so much.
Always great to see you. Thank you for having me.
We were just having this conversation at home. So my boys, just to refresh memory, 10 and soon to be 14. And let's just get the first question out of the way. When is it okay to send a child out and about to trick or treat alone? No parents. When is that okay?
That is the biggest question I get. And I have a golden rule, if you will. So I always say, look, sit your kids down and talk to them about the real risks and the real dangers. Map out different things that they may encounter if the friends that they're with want to change a route or run off in a direction they're not allowed to go to. If they're approached by somebody that makes them uncomfortable or somebody falls and get injured, and see what their response is. If they feel like, okay, wait, let's talk about this, Mom. Let's talk about this, Dad. I understand. Here's what I would do. They're telling you they might be mature enough to actually go out alone. If in the conversation they're, I don't want to talk about this, that's not going to happen. I don't want to even think about it. That's scary. They're telling you they're not mature enough to go. Now, of course, hopefully nothing is going to happen. But should something happen, they are not mature enough to handle it. It's best if you're still with them.
You know what? They might be 18 and I'll be right there. I like to go too. I just like to see everyone, walk around. Do give them a little bit of freedom, of course. But I love that. Having that conversation and listening to those key words, I think, is really important. Let's also talk about the dangers of just being a pedestrian. We live in a big city. We have to remember that cars are still part of the road on most of our routes, right? Some neighborhoods do block off. But at the end of the day, cars are still trying to get home, right?
Yeah, I mean, people forget that there are still, yes, cars on the road. People still need to get places. Halloween doesn't stop, everybody's to-do list. And it's actually the #1 most dangerous holiday for kids and pedestrian injuries. So we want kids to be aware of that. Walk on the sidewalk. Walk on the sidewalk. Wear reflective tape. Plan your route in advance. There are some of us that will live in a neighborhood where we're near very busy roads, and that's okay. But just have an idea of where your kids should cross, not cross. If we get separated from each other and they're going first, how are they going to handle some of these major roads? These are really, really easy conversations to have, but they're critically important, especially on Halloween.
And I think it's important too, because you remember they're all in costumes, right? And some of these are very dark. So having some sort of light source on you, and really pay attention to the masks as well.
Absolutely. I'm always in shock still when I'm taking my kids early in the morning to do drop-offs, etc. People are running, it's still dark, and you literally can't see them. Now, those are usually adults, but we want kids who are quick and small, oftentimes shorter than your eyesight, to really be wearing reflective tape. Make it really obvious. Have lights. Do whatever you need to have to make it obvious that your kids are there.
Absolutely. Some of those things are super inexpensive, too, on Amazon that can get to your door by tomorrow. Let's also talk about some of the other dangers that maybe some people don't want to think about on a Halloween, especially on a holiday, but it's something that we need to think about is who's living around the corner, where are they trick-or-treating, right? Know your route and know what door you're going up to.
Yeah, and it is the law in Texas that a registered sex offender has to keep their lights off. They're not going to be inviting people to their homes. But we also know that kids are kids, and even if the lights are off, they may want to go and ring the doorbell or kind of look around and see what's on the property. So we want to remind kids that if the lights are off, you know what, we're just going to skip the house. We also want to think about who's walking around with us. If somebody approaches us or asks us an uncomfortable situation, now today is the day of social media. If they start FaceTiming or Instagramming live, what are your rules on that? What are you expecting of your kids? Do you allow them to be in people's videos or in people's photos or not? Unfortunately, in today's world, I wish everybody was well-intentioned, but unfortunately that's not true and it's not reality. So it's really important that we talk to kids about that.
Absolutely. A great conversation for sure. We have about 30 seconds left, Rania. Let's talk about the trick-or-treating and COVID. We're still in a pandemic.
Yeah, of course, this is outdoors. That's great. If you're going to be indoors, you've got to social distance or wear a mask. Obviously, be careful about candy and stuff that you grab. Make sure it's prepackaged when you give it out. And maybe talk to your kids about the fact that this year is trick-or-treating for fun, but we may not be eating everything we get. It might just be a fun holiday, get together, walk around, enjoy your neighborhood.
All great points, Rania. It's always wonderful to catch up with you, and good luck on the gala. I know that you have the Crime Stoppers Gala just around the corner.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Courtney.
And to connect with Rania of Crime Stoppers Houston, we do have a link on the Scene on Houston Life section of our website. That's houstonlife.tv.